update video for the Starfire. We've gotten quite a bit done since the last time. A couple of things I wanted to show that were, one thing that was caught from my coworker slash friend Jeff, thank you. I put the fan on backwards. I couldn't believe it. He said that to me and I said, no, it's not on backwards. How could I have done that? It wouldn't be moving air, but actually it would be moving air. If you think about how these fans are, they're actually contoured. So it's on correct now. I switched it, but it was on. I took it off the clutch to clean it and paint it and put it back on. Then I just inadvertently put it on backwards. But anyway, if you look at the little lip here, that's where it kicks the air off at the end of the fan blade when it's turning. But if you turn this around 180 degrees, it still will move air. It's still gonna pull the air through and shove it, to the engine. But it's gonna be using this very soft, edge here of the fan. So it was working, but just not as well as it should have. So I'm sure if I got into some hot weather, I would have started noticing a problem. So that was a nice catch. He caught that on one of the videos. He said, I think your fan's all backwards. So I guess that happens. Even me, I've been doing this stuff for a lot of years, and we've touched every single part on this car, and I just overlooked it. So anyway, we got that on right. The other thing that was an issue, we got this car all done and we were driving it, and the steering was weird. You go down the road and it was darting all over. It was like the alignment was wrong. And I knew the alignment wasn't wrong because the guy that did the alignment has been doing these forever and even has done a bunch of H bodies. And so I really couldn't believe that the steering issue was the alignment was done wrong. So I started doing some research and trying to figure out that it's got a power steering gearbox on it. And I know there's adjustments on them. And it was just, you go down the road when you're going about 60 miles an hour, it was just searching. It was just kind of going back and forth, and it kind of would hang up in the middle. It was like it didn't have enough caster. It wouldn't self-center itself. So after doing some searching on YouTube, I found this Joe's Muscle Car Garage. So he gets all the credit. He has a nice video on how to adjust these steering gearboxes, which I have another gearbox that I just wanted to show. It's the GM Saginaw gearbox that's on like every GM car for 20, 30 years. This one happens to be the one out of my 70 Cutlass. It's the same on this 79 Starfire. It's the same on my 70 Vista Cruiser. It's the same one. I had a square body Chevy pickup when I was younger, and it's the same box. They used them forever. But anyway, most people try to adjust this when there becomes slop in the steering, and that's not what you do. The adjustment is actually all in here. So right in here, there's this flat plate right here is actually a spanner nut. So this is the set. This stamped metal plate is the set, how you lock it in. But this is a spanner nut in here. You can see the hole. But anyway, all this comes apart, and just to adjust it, all I did on the Starfire was I took this off. And if you go to that Joe's Muscle Car Garage, he has a video on it. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, but you basically, this is where you do your preload adjustment of the steering shaft is this, not this. This is the adjust the preload of this pitman shaft, yeah, just up and down. So that's really all this is. This actually, part of my problem was I tightened this a little bit too much, and it actually will cause a bind right in the dead center of the travel where you're going straight down the road. If you have this too tight, it'll actually make the steering kind of bind in the middle. And that's part of the adjustment, is you basically back this off until you have no bind here. You can feel it. He has some torque specs on it, but honestly, if you've been working on cars long enough, you can kind of feel what he's talking about. So anyway, you adjust this first. So you back this off, you adjust this, and then you adjust this. That's how you do it. But anyway, that made the car drive really good. So now the car drives down the road. You can go highway speed, and it feels safe. So anyway, those are two things I wanted to mention to everybody, because I figured I've been doing these working on these cars for a long time, and I've never adjusted one of those gearboxes, honestly, because I've never had a problem with them. They just always worked, and I never messed with them. So anyway, now I know how to adjust them. So if you need that, go to that video and watch it, and it explains it. So the stuff that's new, right off the bat, the biggest thing you see there is we do have the wheels on it. We showed you the wheels last time, but we actually bought tires. So we have brand new tires on it. That was a bit of a issue trying to find tires for 13-inch wheels. Very, very limited on selection. All you guys that have tried to keep the stock wheels on these things know that, but I found some here local, our local tire shop. They had they're what are they, 185/70 13s. So I wanted a little bit taller tire just to fill the hole in the back a little better, but that's what I found. I think there was another size, but it was too tall. So I think they look good. It drives nice.
Still gotta find the middle cap.
Yeah, I know the center caps are hard to find, but I'm gonna still try to find something to push in those and kind of finish off the wheels. I was able to find the correct lug nuts. They're tapered with a big sleeve, or not a sleeve, but a shoulder on them. So I was able to find those. So those are new. Got all new lug nuts too. So that's new from last time. Also, we had the carpet in it, but we were just cutting it. So it's all in, cut. We got the console in. Everything works. E-brake, shifter indicator. Came out real nice. There's the new sill plates I was talking about last time that somebody reproduces. I can't remember who, but they look great. They're awesome looking. And because the old ones were just absolutely destroyed in this car. We did get all the plastics done and in it, and you can see how nice they turned out. We painted all these. These were faded white. If you go back to the early videos, they were so horribly sun faded there. They just looked terrible. So we got those all painted and they're in. I think they came out really nice. The seats, this is all original upholstery in these seats. We had one stain. Someone sat something in the seat. It's not a burn. It kind of looks like a burn, but it's not. I don't know what they sat. Looked like a rusty brake drum or something sat there, and it ended up eating through, and we cleaned the heck out of it, and that's as good as we could get it.
That seat is perfect.
Yeah, that seat's perfect. So
there's dog hair everywhere.
Yeah, there was a lot of dog hair in this car. So we got her cleaned up, got the carpet in it. So the front seats we still have to take out. We put them in because we wanted to drive the car. We ran out of time. They need to be shampooed. We're going to shampoo them like we did everything else, and we need to paint these plastics still, and this little piece of plastic here that holds the seat belt.
And the shampoo we used wasn't even industrial. It was just pet carpet cleaner.
Yeah, but it worked good. And we used a brush, and I thought it worked pretty good. And so yeah, we're gonna take those seats back out and also paint these brackets. These brackets get kind of rusty to hold the seats, so we're gonna clean those and paint those like a matte black color just to make them look a little nicer. And then at the back here, this was another issue. This carpet was terribly stained, and actually it's still stained, but man, it looks, I know, hard to believe, but it looks way better than it did. So we got that as clean as we could get it. I can probably find a chunk of carpet to replace that with. So it's just a flat piece and cut it, but it's got the original snaps in it, and this filler piece at the back came out really nice. So I was able to paint that, get that back in there. You can see the hole for where the spare tire was. And the latest thing we did, which I'll talk about the doors here in a minute, but I took all the locks out, this lock mechanism for the hatch, and then the two for the doors, soaked them in solvent and cleaned them. And man, they were filthy and gummy, and they work a lot better now. So they actually spring return, and was able to get a lock for it, a new lock cylinder. It's not the exact correct one, but it works just fine. So did that too. And then what else? Okay, so yeah, I think the next thing is the doors. So the next thing that we did, and we just did here a couple days ago, is we took this door off and we disassembled all the mechanism as far as the latch, which I don't know how many of you have taken out these door latch mechanisms in these GM doors. But these 3 screws are Loctited in really good. So you got to heat them up. We heated them up with a heat gun, and luckily we were able to get them hot enough without burning the paint off or bubbling the paint, and was able to get them out. So it took quite a while. This one I think I was able to hit it with I basically did an impact with a punch in the middle, and was able to shock it enough that I was able to get that one out, because I didn't want to lose these original stickers. This thing still has the original stickers with the max load, the tire pressure, all the information about the weight of the vehicle. I didn't want to screw these up by burning them, so I was able to get that screw out luckily without messing those up. And then so I took this whole mechanism out by getting these 3 out, and we soaked them in solvent for like an hour, and then just cleaned the heck out of them. And because the lock wouldn't even work. So yeah, go ahead, Cam, you can. So that one arm there is the mechanism actually works now. It was so gummed up you couldn't even do that. So that worked out really good. And then just the latch in itself from the outside and the inside latches. The issue with these cars is the door pin hinges wear out. The door sags.
Here, let's get the old one.
And then you have to pull up on this handle so hard. This handle is pot metal, and it cracks right there and breaks. Well, the old one was busted from that whole chain of events happening over the years. So we took the doors off, put in new pins. So here you can see the new pins and bushings are on both top and bottom. So we cleaned all that up, put in the new bushings, put in the new pins, sourced by Clyde Biaggi. So appreciate that. They work great. Got that in, got the doors lifted back up where they're supposed to be, got the lock mechanism cleaned. Did you get that old latch?
I don't know, where's that?
Oh, not sure where I put them. I think I might have put them over there on that shelf. So we got the new latch on there, and the door hits the pin correctly now and just shuts. And you don't have to use a ton of force to open the thing. So we're doing the other side. So the other door is off right now. We decided to do the video before we finished just to show what this looks like. This is an original car that's never been apart. This is the first time it's ever been apart, and there's what the hinges look like that are welded to the door. So we'll clean this all up, clean all this mess out of here before we put the door back on. And then, yeah, so here's Cam's got that's the latch that was on it. So they just break from pulling on them because the mechanism is clear on the right here, the arm. And when you pull up on it in the middle, it busts it because you have to pull on it so hard. So yeah, so we replace those. Dorman sells those latches. So here's the door, and here's the hinges. And I haven't even touched these. We just took this door off and sat it on this table. So these look nice, actually. Those bushings look nice, but they're wore out. You can pick the door up, and it's got a lot of slop in it. So
This goes here.
So here's the 2 hinges with the bushings. So we'll take those out, clean all that up. And then again, yeah, these, and the other problem with these is these strip out, these holes where the door handles go, because again, it's a chain of events. When these hinges, bushings go out, and then the door sags, and then it's harder to open the door, it's harder to close the door, and then with the handles that are here, you pull the door harder, it breaks the handles, so the handles break. It's just a chain of events. And then you'll pull these screws that are just screwed into steel, just sheet metal, and it pulls all these screws out. So some of these are stripped, some of them aren't, but I basically fix all those before we put it back on. So we'll do all that here right now is our next thing to do. So yeah, we'll take, again, I already heated these up. These are all loose. So we'll take all this, take these arms off, take this out, clean it, put everything back in, and we should be good to go. What else? I think that was it. So yeah, like next steps was cleaning the door panels, which these door panels have been sitting here for a long time. We're gonna vacuum them and then shampoo them and clean them. They'll clean up nice, get those put back on the inside. And once we have that, the interior is pretty much done. The next step is we got to take this windshield out because it is broken. It has one eye right here, not a big deal, but I do have a replacement windshield, which are like hen's teeth to find. Yeah, sitting over there on top of the Vista. The other issue needs to come out is I can't put the trim on it because whoever put this windshield in a long time ago put in so much of this urethane or whatever this black product is. It covered all the trim clips are just, most of them are covered up. You can't even access them. Like this one got cut off to get the trim off. Someone put a razor blade in here and cut it. And yeah, so anyway, the clips are kind of a mess. It's the same thing over on the other side. So we got to get this windshield out, clean up this channel, put new clips in it, get the windshield put in it, and then we can get the trim back on the windshield, which will make it look a lot better. And then what was the other thing we were going to do? I think that was the main items that we had left. Yeah, that was it. All right, so I think we're all caught up on everything that we were going to do. So that's where it is. It runs and drives really good now. I just got to finish up the interior and the seal. Actually, the hatch seal I did purchase. That seals the hatch. That needs replaced. We're going to do that and paint that and paint this back area. So these, I'm gonna take these off, clean these up, paint these, clean this whole area here. And then this seal, I do have a new seal for the hatch that goes all the way around it. So got to put that on still, but that won't take very long to do. So a lot of things, but we're getting there. Very, very close now. All right, that's it for now.